Hello, everybody. My name is Becky Draper, and I'm a Vedic astrologer and Ayurveda health coach. And I help people align with the rhythms and cycles in nature. And today I'm going to talk about Jupiter's transit into Cancer on June 2nd to November 1st. So, whenever Jupiter goes into Cancer, this is a time of celebration because Jupiter is the planet of growth and expansion and blessings. And when Jupiter goes into Cancer, this is where he is exalted and becomes very powerful. And it's represented as like that deep, nurturing, divine mother healing energy. And so this is a time where we can really heal and grow on a personal level. And so I wanted to go through every single sign and let you know how this might be affecting you personally. But first of all, it's important to note that I'm doing Vedic astrology. And so in Vedic astrology, we go off of your ascendant and not your sun sign. And then we also go off the true placements of the planets. And so oftentimes your ascendant in Vedic astrology will be different than what your ascendant was in Western astrology, because Western astrology goes off a fixed point in time and Vedic astrology goes off of what's actually happening in the sky according to NASA. So if you don't know your ascendant in Vedic astrology, you can go online, type in Vedic astrology calculator, and all you need to know is your time of birth and then of course the day, the date, and the place. But you do need to have the exact birth time in order to get an accurate ascendant reading. So first of all, let's talk about what Jupiter in Cancer energy is all about. So Jupiter is the guru planet and he brings blessings, expansion, and growth. And we love Jupiter energy. And Jupiter is actually the planet in the sky that protects Earth from asteroids. So apparently the gravitational pull from Jupiter, it actually pushes asteroids away from Earth. And so this is one of the reasons that Jupiter is considered like the blessing planet or the protection planet. And when Jupiter is in Cancer, he's extra powerful because he's exalted here. And Cancer represents the mother, it represents the home, and it represents the heart. And Jupiter is our beliefs and it's our values. And when Jupiter's values get settled into the heart, this is the best place for Jupiter. We want our beliefs and we want our values to come from our heart. And this helps us live our life from our heart. And ultimately, that is the highest form of our existence, is when we are living from the heart. And so that is why it's such a beautiful energy. And then I'm going to go through every single ascendant sign and explain how this will affect you based on what house Cancer is in your chart. So if you're in Aries, then Cancer is your fourth house. So Jupiter will be in the fourth house of heart and home. And so this is showing that you're going to heal in your heart and your home. And so this is where you may even get a new home, or you may rearrange your home, or you may make your home more beautiful. You may even set up a space in your home for healing. And then this is also your heart. It's meditation. So it's telling you, like, to remind you, like, take the time to meditate and to connect to the heart. So this is a good reminder for Aries, who can be very like external worldly people, to slow down and connect to the heart. And then if you are also interested in like ancestral karma, this is a great time to do some ancestral karma healing, maybe like a Tarpana practice or something like that. Taurus, this is happening in your third house. And your third house is the house of ego and interest. And so this is going to show that you're going to work on your self-interests, which can show up as like self-help, or like working on a goal, like a self-interested goal, like maybe you're going to run, or maybe you're going to hike a few peaks this summer. This is like a self-interested goal. And this is a great place to put your energy, because a lot of the times when we're putting our energy into these self-interest goals, they actually act as ways of healing. And Taurus is a very grounded ascendant, and so this can kind of pull you out of your like slump or kind of get you moving, get you kind of going outward. And so this is a good healing place for you, is to work on a goal and pull yourself out of that like shell that you can sometimes be in, or be a little bit more, you can be so grounded sometimes that you aren't going out into the world. And the third house is saying, yeah, let's like focus on some of our interests. Let's do some of the things that we want to do. And this will bring your healing as well. And then the third house is also your peers, and it's your siblings. So you may find yourself healing with siblings, or you may find that you are being recognized amongst your peers. Gemini, this is in your second house of values and material gain. So this could be where you are healing some of your values. And whenever Jupiter is in the second house can be represented by like a mouth, and people can refine their eating habits or quit a habit, like quit smoking or quit drinking. But this is a time where when Jupiter's in that second house, you may take a deeper look at some of your habits and how that's affecting your health. And so this is where you're going to heal more on a physical level, and you're going to focus more on healing your lifestyle and habits. Cancer, this is in your first house of self. And so you are going to be focusing on healing the self, and this can be anywhere from your physical body to your spiritual body, but your focus will be on yourself. And this is a great place for Cancer because this is Jupiter is exalted in the first house, and when Jupiter is in your first house, this is actually where we want Jupiter, because we want to focus on the self from a Jupiter perspective, from like a spiritual aspect. We want to focus on ourselves, and so this is like a good direction for the planet Jupiter is to go focus on your inner world. And so this is your chance, Cancer, to heal thyself. And so spending time in meditation, doing self-care, all of those things are going to benefit you during this time. Leo, this is happening in your 12th house. And the 12th house is where we kind of let go of the material world and where we're like liberated. And Leos are very kind of like Aries. They're very selfish people. They can be very self-interested, and nothing wrong with that. We need to have self-interest. But with Jupiter in the 12th house, it's reminding you to have that connection more to like your spiritual side. And when Leos can be a little bit softer and a little bit more connected to their spiritual purpose and to that like softness of like our spiritual self, this can actually make Leos not feel so harsh and so controlling. They actually can feel really more of like a support system when they're connecting more to this like soft Cancer energy. And so this is actually a great time for you to meditate also, and to spend time focusing on drawing in more of this like softness, so we're not so connected to our attachments and how we think that things should be, and we're allowing for things to be more in a flow. Virgo, this is happening in your 11th house of higher aspirations. So this is where you're going to be focused on bringing in some of these bigger goals that you have for yourself and for others. And often Virgos are very focused on other people. They're very focused on service. And so this is just a natural place for Virgos to put their energy towards healing the collective. And so Jupiter here is really going to amplify those goals and help you achieve them. But on top of that, it's also a reminder that while it's great that you're so focused on bringing these higher aspirations into the world, in order for you to do that, you have to first give to yourself. And so make sure that as you are healing and growing and expanding in your big picture of how you want the world to be, that you're still connecting to the self and taking care of yourself as well. And then Libra, this is in your 10th house of career. And so you're going to grow and expand in your career. You may get a new career opportunity. You may take on more responsibility at work. You may get more opportunities at work. And so this is going to bring in a lot of growth and expansion in your career. But it could also have more to do with your dharma and your purpose, and you may find that you are growing and expanding and becoming more in alignment with your responsibilities here. And it's through focusing on your dharma and your bigger responsibilities that you actually do a ton of healing and growth. Because Leo or Libras can sometimes get a little bit lost in pleasure and enjoying life, and they sometimes forget to do some of like the more spiritual work, like spending time in meditation. And Libras can be like, they can talk a lot, like, about doing the thing, but they're not always the ones to do the thing. And so when Jupiter is here in the 10th house, it's reminding you like to actually do the thing. Scorpio, this is happening in your 9th house of gurus and teachers. And so you'll really be growing and expanding. You'll probably take some type of course or class. And so if you've been thinking about going back to school, obviously now is a great time to do that. You also, if you're seeking out good teachers or wanting to learn something new, this is a great time for that, because you are being blessed with the guru's teachings, and this is when you will be connecting more to like that higher spiritual aspect of those teachings. And then Sagittarius, this is happening in the 8th house of death, and where we like transform. And so with Jupiter here, you're going to really be transforming and changing a lot of your beliefs. And this might feel a little bit challenging, but this is also how Sagittariuses are able to, they have to be able to grow and expand through their experiences, because Sagittarius is the sign of like our beliefs and is ruled by Jupiter. And so Jupiter is going to help you grow and expand. And so this might be a little bit of a uncomfortable transit, but Jupiter is a really powerful planet for you because he is your ruling planet. And so you will grow and expand and change a lot over the next year. And there might be a little bit of growing pains along the way, but you can be sure that it is going to all be in the benefit of you. And then Capricorn, this is happening in your 7th house of relationships. So you're going to heal in your relationships. And this could mean that you heal through a relationship that is maybe wounded or not going as great as you thought. Or it could also mean a better relationship comes in. Or it could mean you get into a relationship. It could also mean that you get married. And so there's lots of different ways of seeing this, but as Capricorn people, they tend to be very calculated, and they can sometimes be a little bit cold. And so this is also a reminder that there is more to life than your goals, and it's important to connect with people. And so connecting with other people is how you are going to grow and expand over the next 5 months. And it's one of the areas of life that does need the most healing for Capricorns. Aquarius, this is happening in your 6th house of service and like hard work, doing the things that we don't really want to do. And for Aquarius, this can be a little bit touchy, because when the moon is ruling the 6th house, the moon is our feelings and emotions. And so Aquarius are very aware of how it feels to have to do a lot of these like mundane things in life. And so they have a very deep sense of awareness of like the struggle in life. And so when we are talking about Aquariuses, they tend to be very focused on other people, and they tend to be very empathetic. And so with Jupiter here, we're really having to work through our understanding of service to others. And because Aquariuses do want to be in service to other people, but they tend to neglect themselves, this is a reminder that they have to first be of service to themselves, and they have to first take care of their own needs in order for them to be of service to others. And Aquariuses tend to have very low self-esteem. And so this is also a reminder that you need to work on your own worth and your own feeling of security in order for you to really help the community as you can, as you desire. And then Pisces, this is happening in your fifth house, which is also ruled by Jupiter. And this is where you're going to, the fifth house is creativity and its children. And so you're going to be expanding and growing through creative endeavors, maybe through your children. If you have children already, then this could be a time where you really grow your relationship with them, or you spend a lot of time playing with your children, creating with your children. And then it's also just about being creative and bringing your creativity into the world. And through your creativity, that can also be a very healing aspect for people. For me, I know that I'm not a Pisces, but I know that one of the best ways for me to heal emotionally is to create art. And it really is like an expression of what's happening for me. And so this is an area for you as well. As a Pisces, you heal through your creativity, and Pisces are always very creative. And so this, when Jupiter is here, this is such a beautiful area for Pisces to really tap into their creativity and heal through that process. So that's all 12 signs. And if you want to go even deeper or take a deeper look at where Saturn is at as well and see how these two planets are interplaying during this time, then you could book a Vedic astrology reading and we could take a deeper dive. And I hope you have a nice day.